Civil War is the Kirsten Dunst mega blockbuster action-packed movie that will show the moviegoers that in order to be a photography journalist, you must have 3 qualifications. 1. You have to be fearless. 2. Have to have a camera. And 3. You have to be a complete idiot for taking this job. We are about to dive deep into movie review of Civil War to see how they put their lives on the line. Kirsten Dunst, Spider-Man were able to save you in this movie.
Mary Jane!
Directed by Alex Garland in his action-packed movie, the star-studded cast of Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moore, Kelly Spaney, Nick Offerman, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. The movie starts off as the president making a speech mentioning this is the greatest win in history, which is referring to the Civil War. Mary Jane shows up watching TV one scene and then onto another scene out in the public watching citizens versus police get into a fight. Mary Jane is a photography journalist who puts her life on the line by taking pictures at riots and shootouts. There is no way in hell you'll never see me taking a career in that field. While Mary Jane takes pictures, this kid shows up, gets in the way, taking pictures and get hit with a stick when the riots broke out. This kid tends to get in the way a lot and go and get someone killed someday. Mary Jane checks on her and told her to get lost. A scene later, Mary Jane was with 2 of her friends and had the dumbest plan of all time. She wants to go to DC and take the picture of the president before they assassinate the president. Before the soldiers get there.
Not a great plan.
The old man disagrees at first and tells him it's suicide, and I actually agree with him. I think you're a smart guy. Unfortunately, he changed his mind and wants to tag along. And now I don't think you're that smart anymore. He insists they go through a different route like West Virginia, Pittsburgh, and other states just to get to Charlottesville and then DC instead of go straight to DC. It's going to take well over 500 miles. A scene later, that little brat shows up trying to kiss Mary Jane behind, talking about her history, which leads to her sneaking into the ride and taking the same trip to DC. Mary Jane was not following that brat joining, but might as well train her on the way to become a photographer journalist if she don't get in people's way. So we have a team of Mary Jane, the brat, the old man, and this guy who seemed to get excited for their journey. I call this the Photography Avengers. The first place they stopped to a gas station with 3 people who had high-power weapons. They hung a couple guys in a nearby barn and they strung up for, I believe they stole something, whatever it is, but they got them hanging up in the air like gutted like pigs. The brats got scared to take a picture and started to freak out, which got to a reality check when Mary Jane told her to quit being a wuss and deal with it. If you want to join us, you have to deal with the good and the bad. The next place they stopped to is an area with soldiers and civilians doing some serious active gunfire, and these idiots like Mary Jane and the brat taking pictures, getting in the soldiers' way, not knowing they could get hit with a straight bullet, or at least in the crossfire. I seriously hope they get paid enough money for this, and I wonder if they have any health, dental, or vision benefits. Then they drove to another place where a sniper shoot their car and they had to stop by and lay low for a minute. This guy runs his mouth while 2 friendly snipers trying to kill another sniper hiding in Santa Claus' house. Look, dude, running your mouth too much could give up your position and you could end up getting somebody killed. In other words, shut up, dude. Mary Jane and the brat are, of course, taking pictures again. Notice I haven't mentioned the old man much because he did not have to do too much in the film, except for giving friendly advice and joining the mission, well, because he's old. Now the little brat and some other dudes get caught in another unknown place with a couple weirdos with machine guns, burying dead bodies like they throwing out the trash. This guy asks questions like, what type of American are you? That is by far the stupidest question I ever heard. Basically, if you're not America, you'll get put to sleep permanently. To be fair, that little brat and the other guy deserve it. They caught due to the stupid thing they did on the road of a scene later, and they thought it was cool. Fortunately, the old man bailed them out, but one of them gets hit with a stray bullet. Pretty sad about it, and it was not that person's fault. The Photography Avengers finally made it to Charlottesville, but had to bury their friend, but the soldiers are making their way to DC to take out the president for the Civil War. They arrive in DC, guns fired all over the place with machine guns, tanks, and Gatling guns. Of course, the brats get in the way multiple times while the soldiers doing their thing. Mary Jane all of a sudden gets scared and having a panic attack or something. Well, Mary Jane, Spider-Man wasn't able to save you from this one, and you definitely on your own. So they finally get inside the White House, and again they're taking more pictures while the soldiers doing their thing. Remember the part in the beginning that I mentioned that the little brat will get someone killed for being in the way too much? Well, it happened, and one of the Avengers got killed off and left that person like nothing happened. Was the photo that important to take to lose one of your friends? So they got to the president and asked him one question and sent him to the shadow realm, and the movie ends. This movie is fast paced and leaves nothing to imagination. I mentioned earlier about the 3 qualifications about the job. You have to be fearless due to the fact gunfires are everywhere and you don't know what might happen to you if you get hit by a bullet or not. Basically putting your life on the line just for a picture. As for the camera, you can't go in with a cheap camera from Walmart somewhere. There was taking great shots at people in a gunfight, people fighting on the streets, and some off-duty shots like a new dress. If you want to invest in a good camera, it better be a starter camera like that Brat had, which is a Nokia, or have an expensive camera what Mary Jane was using. The last qualification is being a complete idiot. There is no way, and I mean no way, I am going to take a job that requires a camera only. I will also need some type of formal weapon. The Photography Avengers was seeing situations that a man was gunned down in the street in front of the camera, shot to death. Another man was burned alive, tied up in some type of Michelin tire. Some people was beaten to death, bullets spraying all over the place, not knowing that you could hit with a bullet. Is this job really worth making an honest living, or they join the job because they might be crazy enough to do it? One thing I do know is that these pictures they're taking better be worth the money. It's funny that the movie is called Civil War with Mary Jane, but Spider-Man was in one of the movies called Civil War with Captain America. Different cast of Spider-Man, but I thought that was interesting. The storyline was straightforward as a team of photographer journalists want to take a picture of a president knowing the risk. I did not have an issue with the cast except the little brat was constantly getting into the enemy's crossfire. Mary Jane was being a douche in some scene, but understandable she was in the field for a long time. This guy tried to have some funny moments, but it's hard to have them when you have a film something serious as this, as dark as this one too. They did not ask too much for the old man, and I was fine with that. Civil War is a pretty good movie which gives you perspectives on 2 different things, the war itself and the journey of the photographer journalist. I will give this movie 8 stars on this highly entertaining thriller of a movie. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to see this movie, or leave the comments in the comment section what you think of the movie. If you'd like to see more upcoming movie reviews on the channel, press the like, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next movie review.
Mary Jane!